from his studios in New York, it's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
We're back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. We are joined first here from Syracuse camp, live at Syracuse camp. We have Tommy DeVito here with us, the starting quarterback of the team. Tommy, how you doing today?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing well. And Tommy, you know, you've had to be patient. You've had to wait for this moment. You had an opportunity to get out last year. You won Syracuse a couple games. What's this spring practice felt like for you?
You know, honestly, it's kind of felt like the same thing because, you know, last year Eric was down, you know, battling that injury that he had. So I got a lot of the reps with the ones last year. So really just putting everything into perspective from last year and really just trying to build on everything from what happened last year.
And what did you take away from your efforts last year? What's kind of your critique of yourself from last year?
Really just anticipation with throwing, building more chemistry with the receivers, and, you know, really just learning with the new offensive line. There's a bunch of new guys working in and making sure that they get better.
And when we look at this offensive line, there's kind of a little bit of shifting and whatnot. Carlos Vettorello at left tackle, Dakota Davis at left guard, Sam Heckel at center, right guard Evan Adams, right tackle Aaron Service, who was playing center last year. What can you say about the offensive line and how it's been in practice so far?
They're awesome. They're very close. You can tell when they're not even on the field. You know, they're always hanging out, having a great time. So they're very close guys, especially when they're on the field. They're able to talk to each other and be able to communicate well without yelling. There's no communication barriers at all, and I think that's the biggest thing for offensive line.
Speaking here with Tommy DeVito, starting quarterback for Syracuse from Cuse camp this morning. Tommy, to you know, obviously the offensive line, when we hear about, you know, a positive play or something that happens, the credit goes to the quarterback, the credit goes to the receiver or the running back. Little do we hear enough about the offensive line. Just what you can say about, you know, I mean, you played quarterback for a long time now, just how vital the offensive line is to making everything tick.
You can't do anything without an offensive line. The D linemen are coming at you, you know, there's not a lot of plays you can get off. But it's the run game, pass game, special teams, anything where the offensive line is involved. They're the biggest part of it no matter what at all times. So, you know, you gotta love those guys up, show them the love because, you know, of course they don't get all the media covers or anything like that, like receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and stuff like that. So, you know, you just gotta love them up and make sure that they know that you're doing the right thing.
And, you know, as far as them getting to know you, I mean, obviously there's been some changes and whatnot, but you're different. So when when you're there playing this offense, just what you could say about, you know, how is the offense with you? Because from the outside looking in, I'm thinking you're more of a traditional quarterback. You're a drop back passer. You like to be in the pocket. You only run if you have to, but it's not your first choice. I get the sense that we're going to see more of traditional running the ball and letting Mo Neal, letting Jarvion Howard, letting Abdul Adams do what they need to do, and then let you get out there in the passing game. Is that a fair assessment to say that this offense is going to kind of go through a little bit of a transition?
Right. I mean, we haven't really discussed anything as far as that into details, but I would imagine that we're going to let our running backs work. You know, there's a lot of running backs, and they're doing awesome. You know, they can all run. They've all got game experience, and we got a couple guys that are incoming that are going to be really good.
And what is it, you know, about your game when you look at this? Because, you know, we go from Eric Dungy, who was used to running, and he was so comfortable doing that, where with you, we've seen you come out, and, I mean, you'll throw a 60-yard pass on the first play that you have out there. You know, just the juxtaposition and the difference. Do you see similarities between the two of you, or is Syracuse, you know, kind of grooming itself for the 2019 season being a different chapter, so to speak?
Right. I mean, we definitely have some similarities as far as toughness, staying in the pocket, making the throws, but there's definitely going to be a difference as far as his running abilities and using a lot more of the weapons on the offense.
And for you, you know, you don't seem to be cold turkey at all. I mean, it doesn't seem to, when you're on the sideline and you stepped in, you know, we talk about getting the jitters out. We talk about, you know, getting warm, heating up and whatnot. We've seen you throw 60-yard bombs immediately. We've seen you throw touchdown passes rather quickly. Just what you could say about the confidence that you have in your game to go out there and take shots right away.
Right, I have a lot of confidence in myself, but I have a lot more confidence in the rest of my teammates and my receivers and my offensive line to be able to go out and make the plays around me, because I can throw the ball as far as I want. It's not going to mean anything if a receiver can't get to an offensive line doesn't block. So, really trusting in those guys makes you a lot better.
And you know, to come out and do that and play so free, where did that come from in your game? Where did that confidence? I mean, there's people in all walks of life saying, I wish I had a little bit more confidence. Where did all your confidence come from?
Not to sound corny, but I think it's a Jersey thing. I really do. I think a lot of people from New Jersey, they come off as cocky, but honestly, I think it's just a lot of confidence. That's how, you had to be when you were younger. You always had to be confident and know what you were doing, because that established, like, the alpha role dominance. So I've learned that at a young age, and I just try to push that moving forward. So
you think Jersey made you in a way?
For sure.
What about Dad?
That sounds yes.
What about Dad, though? How much did Dad, and the thing, I have two questions about Dad. What did he do to help you be what you become? And the second thing is, would you ever rock the pigtail?
All right, I'm going to answer the second one first. No, I would definitely not rock that. He's had that since I was a baby. Like, before I was even born, he's had that, and he's been rocking that. So, that's kind of just his thing. Me and my brother do not have any intentions on going that path. But as far as him pushing me, he's been awesome. I've been training since I was 5. And, he never went too overboard, because a lot of times if you go too overboard, you might lose them, and some kids might fall out of love with the sport. So he's always let me have my childhood, but at the same time, I'd wake up early in the mornings, do my work in the summer, and then I'm going to go hang out with my friends. So I was definitely always work first, but I definitely had a childhood, and I couldn't thank him enough for that.
And before I let you go, to finish up here with Tommy DeVito, quarterback of the Syracuse Orange, as we step into the 2019 season, you brought up your weapons. You said, I could throw it as far as I want to, but it means nothing if I don't have guys that are, talented enough to go out there and make plays in the field. What can you say about the wide receivers? What are maybe some of the things that have kind of stood out to you about this wide receiver core that you have?
Right. So, a lot of the guys are young. We don't have a lot of veteran guys who've been out there. We have a couple of inside receivers, but we don't have a receiver like Steve Ishmael or Jamal Custis. We didn't have one of those coming into here that was an older guy that knew what it took and stuff. So, for us, we built from the ground up. So, with the quarterbacks and receivers, there's a lot of timing things. It's a lot of talking, communicating, and it's gotten better every single day, and we can only hope to get better.
And the young guys, really quick here, just what you could say about maybe some of the guys that we haven't seen yet, the Anthony Queelys, and we saw Tristan Jackson for a game, Cooper Lutz, Sherrod Johnson. What have some of those guys done?
Right, they're like sponges. You can tell them any kind of information, and they're going to listen to it. They're going to believe in you, and most importantly, they're going to use it. It's not just going to be someone just talking to someone. They say, yes, coach. It's going to be they hear it, and they try to incorporate it on the field, and I think that's the best thing for them moving forward.
That coming from Tommy DeVito, never going to rock the pigtail, but he is going to do the rest of the stuff. Tommy, as always, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Yes, sir.